Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com in the Iron Asylum with Brian Yersky. We are here 5 weeks out from the 2016 IFBB New York Pro Championships, and we're doing a little chest training. Brian, welcome.
How's it going, man?
Now, I've seen you, obviously, your physique evolve over the years. I've seen you start out as an amateur. Now you're a pro. This is without a doubt the best I've ever seen you. You're looking thicker than I've ever seen you before. Your conditioning is real nasty. You still got 4 or 5 weeks left of dieting. Is this the best contest prep you've ever had?
Best I've ever had. I mean, Nationals 2012, those national years were good. 2011 was good when I took third, and then, we stepped it up for 2012. But definitely, we are weeks ahead of that national look that we had in 2012. So
now, obviously, people don't understand. A lot of people want instantaneous gratification, and you're one of these guys that's been training your whole life pretty much.
Right.
You do it the old-fashioned way. You go into the gym, you bang the weights, you lift the iron, you do the free weights, you put in the work, and you make the improvements every single year. No one handed you anything on a silver platter. You really earned it. And when you see a lot of these guys online now posting pictures, they're like, "Oh, I've been training, a year and a half," and they're already crying about not winning their pro card in the men's physique division or now the classic physique division. Does that irk you a little bit?
Oh, for sure. It definitely does. It's terrible. Like I said, I don't want to say old school because that's kind of a cliche now as well, but I'm hardworking American blue collar. We'll call it blue collar. That's what I'm about. Small town USA. Country kid that just I've seen my parents, they're still working in their mid-60s. Their parents were working. We're blue collar folk.
Well, obviously, even though it might have taken you longer to get there, you have a solid, base of muscle. What do you think it'll take? Obviously, the New York Pro is stacked, with some good guys in it. Dexter Jackson in the lineup, Juan Morel, Max Charles. These are guys who've been placing at these, these top pro events. How do you feel you'll fare up against some of these top names?
I like I said, it's so subjective. That's up to how the judges see it, which I'm fine with. I'm going to bring my best package. I'm going to see how I stack up in the pictures. In those comparison shots, and I'll judge for myself. I'll be pleased if I hold my own. Seeing the improvements I did make. I'm anxious to stand next to Max. He's a freak, and I competed against him in 2011 at Nationals. I think he took second, and I took third. So it'd be nice to stand next to him again. And I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I'm not shying away from anybody. I respect them all greatly. That's who I've looked up to coming up. Remember competing in those early years with Juan. I'd like to stand next to him again. And, just see where I compare. And like I said, I'll be doing this again next year and the following year. And so it's a learning experience, keep growing, keep plugging away and, eventually, hopefully be standing on the front and center of that podium.
A lot of people will cherry peck their shows, so to speak. There's so many competitions out there now. They go and they look and they say, well, what's going to be the weakest lineup? And they jump into that to try to place well or get a win, qualify for the Olympia. You don't do that. You're pretty much saying, you know what? I'm going to go into the top level shows. I want to go into the shows of the name shows where there's people going to get the most notoriety. What's the thought process behind that?
That's where I'm at in my career, I feel. There's no sense of going and winning a show with a weak, lame lineup with a half dozen people. What does that ultimately get me? It doesn't get me anything. It gives me Olympia qualification, which would be awesome. But other than that, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm coming to stake my claim to be an Arnold representative here in the near future, and I'm going to plug away at those top shows. The lesser caliber shows, they're great, and I support all the promoters, and I'll probably do them through the season as they come between prep for the Arnold and hopefully, sometime soon, the Olympia. I'm not saying that's next year, but when those fall shows come up or the late summer shows come up prior to Olympia, I'll be, probably using those as stepping stones into the Olympia. But initially, like I said, I need the New York Pro under my belt to stand with these top guys to see where I fare. And then I'll go on to Toronto, and hopefully that's enough to, like I said, submit a quality letter for an Arnold invite 2017.
Now, a lot of guys pre-contest change their workouts. They do these higher rep workouts. They do these supersetting workouts that you don't see them doing the hardcore basic, mass building lifts that got them to where they were. Do you see this as a mistake?
Oh, definitely, and I've learned that through the years. I mean, there was past preps where I've gone that route under certain guidance, but working with Chad Nichols, and now I got Big E, Eric Nube in my corner. Man, he freaking turns the screws on me. He beats me until he has to revive me, and then he beats me again. So there's no pussyfooting around right now. I mean, I'm low on fuel. I'm dragging, but I know when I get to the gym, I put in a quality hour and a half and do what I need to do. And then I can, don't have to push as hard on the cardio side because ultimately I'm getting that burn with the weights. But I think that's contributing to the different look that I have this go around. We're staying fuller, which, I've had, I don't want to say issues, but I'm wide clavicle, wide structure, and it's hard to keep it filled out. But with the less demand of the cardio and more, volume in the weights, I think we're able to maintain that thicker look.
Yeah, I was always a guy who trained. I was like Ronnie Coleman, Dorian Yates
Right.
style.
Right.
I always trained heavy. I never lightened up my weight. But, a week out from a show, I was still squatting 550. Because I felt that, that's what built the muscle. Why should I change it? Obviously, weight training doesn't burn fat. So to believe that you're going to burn in cuts into your muscles by doing more reps is kind of foolish in a sense. So I think a lot of people make that mistake. I'm glad you're not doing that. Let's talk about diet. I mean, I know your body obviously evolves over the years, and I believe that as you add muscle, your metabolism improves. Has your diet changed a lot working with Chad?
Yeah, I mean, drastically. We still have high amounts of food. I mean, granted, it seems like it could be higher, but the amounts are high on paper. It's like, man, I'm really eating that much. It seems like I'm starving, but we are burning through the food. We got 8 meals still, and they're just every 2 hours. And I finish one meal, I barely get the plate to the sink, and I'm like, is it time to eat again? And we're burning through the food.
How many, what's your macronutrient profiles pretty much right now?
Whatever Chad says.
Right. You don't figure them out. You don't know how much protein, fat, carbs.
No, and I mean that's why I have him. He tells me what to do. I send him my morning and my evening weight. He'll send me adjustments, and I just implement. That's why it keeps my mind at ease. I don't have to continually look in the mirror, second guess this and adjust that. I send him my weight morning and evening. He sends me if I need adjustments. Take this out, put this in, up the cardio, up that. And it's
you on a lower or carb or higher carb type regimen at this point?
I would say low, but it's high.
Yeah. Okay.
It can always be more, but
yeah. How much cardio are you doing at this point? Any?
Just 3 times a week, half hour.
That's very minimal. Then obviously you don't need the cardio. Now, is Chad doing that to keep the fullness? Obviously you're very lean right now.
Yeah, this is like I said, this is the first time we're implementing it this style, but that's what I said. He's definitely talking with Eric on the other end as far as making sure that I give it everything. I mean, every last ounce in the gym so that we don't have to focus on the cardio at home.
Now, your legs have always been like your Achilles heel. No one ever really doubted your upper body. That was always something that took a long time to I guess, match up with your upper body. I think you kind of accomplished that at the NPC Nationals when you won. Obviously now, as you've gotten bigger, your upper body's gotten bigger, and so if now the legs are always like a little behind. What have you focused on this past year to keep those legs up in size?
We're hitting them 2 to 3 times a week in the off season. We're still hitting them twice now during the prep. I think attributing that it was those young years of training when you start at 12, 13, 14. Legs are not a priority, and when you do train them, it's not for functionality and purpose. It's for just what's your number? Well, how much can you squat? Well, the form is wrong. You're not activating your glutes. You're not getting in the hole. So those early, I hate to say it, probably 10 years from 12 to 22 were probably poor form, and then I started talking with you in those early years and talking about different orthotics and stuff like that to change my foot placement. And so, all of that from that 22, the past 10 years have probably been where the leg development has come from. I wish I would have known that from the beginning, but so you live and learn. So
I got you. Well, Brian, you look great. Obviously, the big announcement we just made, you'll be joining Team Species, and I'm really proud to have you as an athlete. We've been friends for many years, and I always wanted you to work with me, and the opportunity just didn't really produce itself, but I think we made it happen, and I'm looking forward to doing some great things with you, cross-promoting with you, and I couldn't think of a better guy with a better reputation and a better passion for the sport to represent the Species Nutrition line of products.
I greatly appreciate it, David. I appreciate the sincerity, and that's why, likewise, because like I said, coming up in the late 90s, when you still had your career going and your freak factor, and then watching you progress from actually Met-Rx into the, your brand and seeing your business side of it. I mean, I'm in awe, and I've been, like I said, hounding you for years to get the opportunity. I'm glad it's finally come about.
Well, I love the fact that you like the products and you understand that the higher quality products will yield a higher quality physique. And to me, I need someone who really believes in the product line. I don't want just someone who's going to just wants to cash a check or whatever and doesn't really care. But the fact that you're passionate about what you do and you're passionate about the line and you get what I'm doing, that really helps me in feeling secure to send you out and do appearances and talk about the product line. So once again, I think it's a great collaboration.
Yes, I definitely appreciate all that. And, the big turning point is, now then we're talking about coming on board and seeing the progress. And speaking of the brand, well, that's been also, I think, key of the drastic difference over these past, what month are we in? Over these past 9-10 months, as I've been implementing your products, not making it known, but I've been implementing Species, being that Met-Rx kind of went to the wayside and I was purchasing my own stuff. And if I'm going to spend money, I'm going to spend money on quality stuff and not poor products. So not that their product line was poor, but I definitely noticed a difference in my physique in regards to the supplementation. And that's why I said, speaking with you, bringing the topic up again to be on board, I believe in you prior to using your products, just seeing your business mind and your motto. But once I implemented them, holy shit, I'll vouch for them up and down, left and right. So,
well, once again, a great collaboration, guys. You'll stay tuned. We're going to be doing a lot more with Brian, and you'll get to see a lot more of his training, his techniques, and some of the way he implements the Species products. For now, we're out of time. I'm Dave Palumbo with Brian Yersky in the Iron Asylum.